The 7 scariest TikTok videos that will haunt you forever, watch at your own risk. The night was thick with unease, like the world held its breath, teetering on the edge of something unexplainable. Picture this, a young girl, no more than 10, uploading a video of a shadowy figure lurking behind her. The whispers of a neighborhood holiday party fade as her laughter echoes against an unsuspecting audience. But as the camera follows her movements, the figure twitches, and the little girl's smile freezes, turning to a gasp too late. She jumps, and the video cuts. It was too late for the audience, now, imagine clowns. Not the cheerful kind juggling balloons at a birthday party, but those that crawl out of the darkness, eyes void of light. One TikTok shows a cheerful clown making balloon animals, but the longer you look, the more sinister it becomes. The balloon animals seem to twist into grotesque shapes, unexpected and horrifying, a child's giggle abruptly morphing into blood-curdling screams. Were those screams real? Or was it all fiction? Scroll, pause, scream, and something rustles behind you. Then there's the kid who found an inexplicable box in the woods, an old, rusty relic with strange markings that seem to pulse. The video ends with a close-up of the boy's face, drenched in sweat, stammering that he can hear whispers that tell him to open it. The forest closes in, shadows growing thicker, as he raises the lid. What could he have unleashed? A gasp escapes your lips, doesn't it? Because you've been there too, haven't you? Before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. Next up is a ghost challenge. An influencer attempts to summon spirits in a graveyard, claiming that spirits can take control of the camera. The screen flickers, the air goes thicker, and we hear whispers. Leave now. The influencer's calm demeanor ceases, and suddenly, the camera drops. It faces the ground as chaos erupts. You can almost feel the cold grasp of fear tightening around you, swallowing every ounce of hope. And then there is the one with the mirror, the one that draws you in deeper with each whispered promise. The reflection shows someone behind the person filming, a figure, hair matted and skin pale, eyes wide, filled with an unnerving hunger. You can't look away as those eyes seem glued to you, pleading, but also threatening. The figure's mouth opens, and you brace for another scream, but everything goes dark. What happened next? Each account, each retelling, tinged with intrigue and sinister energy, leave your heart racing, your palms clammy. It begs a question that lingers like a ghost: what if the real fear lies in discovering those videos are not simply entertainment, but portals to something much darker? What happens when the frame stops rolling? What if they find you? The next video would chill your bones to the core. An isolated cabin deep in the woods. The night is suffocatingly quiet, the only sound is the rustling of branches in a chilling wind. The camera stares blankly at the old wooden structure as the influencer narrates a legend that smells of despair. They whisper about the owner, a reclusive figure who vanished years ago, leaving nothing behind but an empty bottle labeled cursed. An eerie silence fills the air, interrupted only by the influencer's nervous laughter, trying to lighten the weight of the moment. What's the worst that could happen? They say, a bravado cracking around the edges of their voice. But just as they step closer, the lights flicker. A shadow darts past the window, and a collective gasp from the comments section blares like an alarm. Everyone watching feels it, a spine-tingling dread creeping in. The influencer shivers visibly, nervously brushing off their unease. Let's check it out, shall we? They draw in a deep breath before stepping inside. The camera wobbles as they enter the cabin, which stands as a relic of decay. Dust dances in the air like unseen spirits, and echoes of old laughter seem to linger in the walls. Suddenly, a loud thud pounds from upstairs. At that moment, the screen freezes. What was that? The influencer mumbles, straining to listen. The tension thickens, and viewers hold their breath in unison. Words from the chat flicker chaotically, filled with shivers and terrified emojis. Get out. Don't go up there. But that defiant curiosity wins, and the influencer's feet lead him up the creaky staircase, each step a proclamation of reckless bravery. But nothing prepares anyone for what they find. A dusty old mirror haphazardly propped against the wall, the glass fogged yet oddly reflective. As the influencer inches closer, their face pales. The reflection shows not just their own image but a dark figure lurking behind them. The chat erupts in panic, thousands of viewers typing frantically. Behind you. It's right there. And just as they spin around, prepared to reveal what lingers in the dark, the feed goes dead. An empty black screen stares back, leaving the audience screaming into the void. They frantically refresh, hoping for a return, terrified that perhaps, whatever was captured in that mirror has taken hold. Weeks pass, and the influencer's unmarked grave becomes a topic of whispered speculation. Viewers recount the last moments of that fateful video over countless social media platforms haunted by uncertainty, playing it over and over. Did they really see a figure? Was it the mirror? Or did they simply vanish into thin air? As the spiral of confusion deepens, something unexpected arises: a new video, emerging abruptly. The camera focuses on an unfamiliar shape, masked in shadows, obscured yet undeniably human, standing before the same cabin, the same mirror. "I'll see what they couldn't," whispers a voice that seeps deep into your bones. You can almost feel the collective tension of the viewers as they gather around their screens. Should they watch? Should they run? Would they have the courage to uncover the dark truth lurking in that forsaken place? But before the answer reveals itself, darkness swallows the screen once more. What lies in that cabin? Was it really just a game? Or something far worse waiting to be unleashed? The camera flickers back to life, and viewers lean in closer, hearts racing. A distorted figure materializes in the dim light, moving awkwardly as if bound by unseen chains. The slightest glimmer of moonlight cuts through the darkness, casting an eerie glow on the ground, revealing old footprints leading from the cabin. They seem fresh, as if someone or something had just stepped outside. "Hello? Is anyone there?" The figure calls out, voice shaky, echoing through the silence. The words drip with desperation, resonating with the viewers who share the same anxious anticipation. Their fingers fly over their keyboards. "Who is that? Go back." But the figure remains undeterred, cautiously creeping toward the cabin. Each footfall imprints the unknown into the hearts of those watching. As they edge closer, the camera catches glimpses of the dusty windows, revealing the interior still shrouded in shadows. It's almost as if the cabin is waiting for them. The comments explode, voices echoing in panic and curiosity. "Don't do it. Is that even a person?" A surge of collective fear electrifies the air, and the figure, now standing at the door, pushes it open with a dreadful creak like the groan of a dying animal. The screen shakes as the door swings away, exposing the gaping maw of the cabin. Inside, the dusty air thickens, heavy with the unspoken past. The floorboards seem to sigh beneath the weight of years, chronically burdensome. The figure glances back at the camera, a fleeting moment of doubt crossing their face. "This doesn't feel right," they admit, the words slipping out with an oddly familiar unease. And just like that, the screen glitches, a subtle cue sending a ripple of dread through the viewers. They gasp aloud, wide-eyed, but their curiosity keeps them glued to the moment. Suddenly, a flicker of movement catches the eye. A shadow flits behind the mirror. The figure's heart races, adrenaline coursing through their veins. What was that? They whisper, fear clinging to their voice. "Get out. Run." Comments flood in like a wave of prophetic instinct, but it's too late. With trembling hands, the figure approaches the old mirror, and the audience collectively holds its breath. There it is, the mirror that had previously ensnared another soul. The shadows dance behind them, nearly alive, twisting as if in anticipation. It's not the reflection that terrifies, it's what hangs in the air, an unshakable, electric tension that chokes the space. Then, without warning, the image in the mirror warps. A face emerges, pale and gaunt, eyes hollowed and blackened. The influencer's last moments flash through the viewers' minds. It can't be. The comments spiral wildly. It's the same. It's watching. Panic thrums like a heartbeat in real time. With barely a second to react, the figure flails backward, stumbling over the threshold. The camera shakes violently as they try to escape the cabin's reach, but the door slams shut behind them with a thunderous bang, trapping them within the clutches of the cursed dwelling. The screen fills with frantic pleas for the figure to turn back, to escape before it's too late. Then, the feed abruptly cuts, plunging viewers into darkness. No warning. No certainty. Just a flood of unanswered questions swirling in the ether. Were they consumed? Did they join the whispers of the lost? With panic curves creeping in, the chat erupts with enough energy to ignite chaos. But then it happens that a new video surfaces. Shorter, raw, and filled with distorted sounds resembling cries for help. You think it's over? A voice sneers. You've only just begun. What could that mean? Who is truly behind the mirror? And, more disturbingly, what price are they willing to pay for the truth? The feed flickers back to life, chaos engulfing the comments. Readers pulse with dread, fingers flying in frantic anticipation. What did that mean? Why are they taunting us? The new video crackles with static, the visuals warped and blurry, but the message is chillingly clear. Are you scared yet? The voice echoes, twisted and rhythmic, each syllable coated with malevolence. The figure's face is no longer its own, it's been transformed into a ghastly mask of malice. The image blurs, out of focus, yet the viewer cannot turn away. Darkness pulses around them, whipping up an undeniable sense of foreboding. Suddenly, the camera shifts. Footsteps, loud and deliberate, interrupt the eerie calm. It's the figure again, yet they seem different, less hesitant, more possessed. Each step they take echoes like a distant drum, each heartbeat amplifying the tension. Please, what is happening? Their voice trembles, practically breaking, as they survey the oppressive walls of the cabin. But the deadly silence returns, almost smothering, as if the very air were alive, listening, waiting. Comments flood the screen again as if drawing life from the viewer's fear. What do we do? Do we call someone? Questions pile up, but no answers emerge. It's as if everyone is trapped in a surreal web of dread, no escape from what lies within those cabin walls. The figure hesitates at the mirror again. A distorted reflection watches back, a cruel grin etched across its face. In the corner of the screen, shadows emerge, growing larger and more pronounced, pooling behind the figure like a sentinel of horror ready to pounce. The atmosphere thickens, sweat gathers on palms, voices become whispers. Run! Someone yells, though no one knows if it's meant for the figure or each other. The walls seem to breathe, drawing closer, the cabin itself a hungry entity. Without warning, the mirror pulses, light and dark swirling together until a sudden scream pierces through the static, a raw explosion of anguish. It's visceral, petrifying, echoing in the minds of all who watch. No! Stop! Don't let it. But before it can finish, the transmission cuts out again. Viewers are left in stunned silence, dread pooling like ice in their veins. How did this happen? What did they just hear? The chat erupts into hysteria. Was that the voice of the influencer? What's in that mirror? Fear grips tightly, constricting, like a creeping vine wrapping around their throats. Then, as if mocking their unsettled nerves, the screen blinks back to life once more. Only this time, a title card appears, grim and smeared in red. The price for the truth is blood. The clicking of a camera fills the air, and the dim outline of a new figure steps forward, smirking knowingly. Let us play a game, they whisper, their eyes glinting with sadistic glee. and just like that, the screen flickers again, swirling down into a new darkness. Viewers gasp, their breaths hanging like choked promises. What game? Who is this new threat? The chat erupts with panic, desperation fueling curiosity. With hearts pounding with adrenaline, they collectively lean in closer. They've become part of the game now, woven into its very fabric. But one question hangs over all of them: how far will they go to uncover the truth? What sacrifice will they have to make? As the darkened screen pulses ominously, anticipation builds. They can feel it in their bones, the tension simmering until it threatens to boil over. Next, perhaps, the cabin would reveal its final secret. Or would they be too late? The screen crackles back to life, tearing through the tension with an unsettling clarity. Images were into focus: a shot of the cabin, its decaying wooden beams casting eerie shadows. The door swings open, creaking on its rusted hinges, revealing a darkness that swallows light. Viewers lean forward, eyes wide with horror and unanswered questions. "I hope you're ready," the figure whispers, their voice dripping with malice. The familiar haunting grin twists their face, blurring the line between reality and the nightmare unfolding. Anxiety grips the watchers' chests, hearts pounding in tandem with the rhythmic, ominous beat echoing from the shadows. The comments explode into a frenzy. What do they mean? Can this be real? Someone help. Each line a plea mingling with sheer panic. The atmosphere is suffocating, desperation spilling out as viewers clutch their phones. This is all a game, but what are the rules? Echoing footsteps approach, slow and taunting, striding down a darkened hallway. They seem to echo just out of sync, disorienting, twisting time and space inside the cabin. Shadows flit along walls like living things, teasing the viewer's imaginations, leaving them to wonder what lurks just outside the viewfinder. A figure stumbles into frame, breathless and wide-eyed, an apparent hostage. "Help me!" They scream, their voice cracking with raw terror. It's not just a game. It's before they can finish, the camera jolts, shifting focus to a cracked mirror that seems to suck in light, revealing another person behind them, a distorted, malevolent copy with an unhinged grin. "Let us give them a show." A shrill laugh escapes the figure's lips, thin and rattling, sending shivers down spines. The screen flickers, distorting, making viewers question the very structure of their reality. Every whisper echoes, "Do you dare?" With bated breath, they realize they are participating, pulling them deeper into this dark game. A notification pops up: "Vote now." Does the hostage reveal the secret? Yes, no. Instantly, fingers fly across screens, decisions made in a split second, unaware of the consequences. "Choose carefully," the sadistic figure warns, eyes gleaming with excitement. The walls of the cabin pulse with each vote, the atmosphere thickening like boiling water, ready to erupt. Viewers' breaths are shallow, the stakes feel impossibly real. With a hard jolt, the feed loses stability, leaving nothing but ghostly whispers and static. Panic ignites in the comments, furious and raging. What happened? Why did it cut out? As they await the return, an unsettling thought creeps in: maybe their choices have spoken the unthinkable. And then it returns, clarity slicing through the fog like a knife. But now an unsettling countdown ticks ominously at the bottom of the screen. "The time is almost up," warns the figure, a glee laced in their tone. "To uncover the truth one must make sacrifices." The camera pivots wildly, capturing the tension in the cabin. The hostage watches the sinister figure in horror, their breath hitching. What sacrifice must be made? What is the truth? The air thickens with a sense of doom, shadows writhing and curling around the corners, taunting the viewers with their impending fate. Just as the timer reaches 0, the figure lunges forward, reaching for the mirror, and the screen goes dark again. Questions swirl in the viewers' minds: had they made the wrong choice? Will anyone make it out alive? The comments ascend once more into chaos, but through their shouts of fear, one stands out: what if we are the ones who pay the price? And so the tension builds, wrapping around the viewers like a vice, squeezing tighter until the next image appears: the mirror, cracked yet alive, now filled with a reflection that isn't theirs. What does it reveal? Who will pay the price next? The screen flickers back to life, but now it's chaotic, the center of the frame swirling in shadows. The cabin's interior is no longer static, it's alive with a pulsating energy, as though the walls themselves are breathing. Whispers slither through the air, intertwining with the frantic heartbeats of viewers. Did you really think you could escape? The voice seeps through the speakers, mockingly soft, yet laced with venom. It sends a shiver racing down spines everywhere. The panicked comments explode again. What is happening? Get out of there. Viewers begin to realize they are not just observers. They are part of this. The camera zooms in on the cracked mirror once more, but instead of a reflection, it reveals a dark realm beyond the glass, a storm of shadow and twisted forms. From the dark, something crawls forward, its fingers long and bony, inching toward the glass. The hostage watches with wide eyes, tears streaming down their face, a silent scream threatening to erupt. Look closely, the sinister figure urges, now stepping into frame, gleeful anticipation etched across its face. What you see next could be the last thing you ever witness. The camera shakes as their ominous laughter echoes, filling every crevice of the dismal cabin. Then, the feed abruptly transitions again. The countdown has vanished, replaced by a single overwhelming question: who will you trust? Suddenly, the hostage spins around, turning toward the viewers, desperation burning in their gaze. Please. They plead. You don't know what you're dealing with. Trust me or trust them. Panic floods the comments again, each person torn between the truth laid bare by the hostage and the allure of the twisted figure smirking behind them. Which choice becomes your fate? The screen shudders violently. Flickers of black and white distort the image, drawing viewers to the mirror again. But this time, the mirror's surface doesn't reflect a coherent image. It shows fragmented glimpses of other lives, people laughing, living their regular lives, entirely unaware of the horror unfolding behind the glass. Every second you hesitate costs someone dearly. The figure in the cabin smirks, tauntingly. You wouldn't want to be the one who made the wrong choice, would you? With a sudden bolt, the hostage lunges back, colliding with a shelf, sending dust and cobwebs cascading down. The screen captures this moment, the broken shards flying through the air, each one a reminder of the desperation clinging to them. The reality hits: one wrong choice could snatch lives from this world into the next, but just as quickly, the figure changes target, pointing a long, skeletal finger toward the camera, toward the watchers. Choose your ally. Do you really want to live? Prove it. The screen goes black, and another darkness curls around, deeply unsettling, threatening to consume everything in sight. The sense of dread swells, leaving everyone breathless. An explosion of notifications erupts, comments demanding answers, desperate shouts pleading for clarity. What's the choice? Who do we trust? But no one can hear them over the rising cacophony. Each heartbeat, each breath feels critical. A twisted feeling grows stronger, burning deep within. Maybe the choice isn't about trust at all. Maybe this is all about survival, the survival of not just the hostage but everyone who dares to look into that cursed mirror. Then the figure laughs once more, a sound tinged with insanity, right before the feed goes dead again, leaving only the sound of suffocating silence. Darkness blankets the screen. What happens when the light returns? Who amongst them will vanish without a trace? The viewers hold on tight, knuckles white, knowing that the next moment's shock could rip through their screens once more. When the screen jolts back to life, the atmosphere crackles with an intensity that threatens to implode. Lights pulse erratically, shadows flickering like desperate flames in a windstorm. Viewers can barely breathe, and electric tension grips their hearts. The camera snaps to the hostage, now trembling, their look a haunting mixture of fear and determination. You have to listen. They cry, voice hoarse. They're playing a game, and every choice will hurt the ones you love. Just then, a voice pierces through the chaos, thick with honeyed malice. Oh, but what fun would that be? The stakes must rise, dear friends. The figure grins wide, revealing elongated teeth, a grotesque smile that twists in the dim light. The comments scroll rapidly, viewers split between disbelief and horror. Is this real? Can they really control our choices? Get them out of there. The escalating panic fills the chat, a heavy tide that threatens to spill over. Trust will save you, the voice croons, eyes gleaming with a sinister light. But what if your trust is misplaced? Maybe it's your beloved who deserves the blade. Sudden jolts of imagery flash across the screen, quick cuts of family moments, laughter frozen in time. And then darkness. The viewers gasp, feeling that chill deep in their bones as they recognize lost moments slipping away. Do you want to put your trust in someone unworthy? What about your friend? What about your sibling? Back in the cabin, reality seems to warp. The air thickens, almost viscous. The hostage collapses to their knees, hands trembling at their temples. I want to let this end badly. Please. Choose wisely. Then, the screen flashes again, illuminating the sinister figure who leans closer, the light catching every hollow aspect of their face. Let us make things a bit interesting, shall we? 2 doors. Behind one, a fate of safety. Behind the other, unfathomable horror. Yells erupt from viewers, a chorus of panic. What does that even mean? How can we choose? A nauseating wave of frantic energy builds, the weight of lives hanging by a thread as they realize they're implicated in this madness. Touch the glass of the right door, and all will be well. Touch the wrong one, the figure laughs, a chilling cackle that drowns the outcries. Well, let us just say it'll be your last embrace with light. In the cabin, the hostage slides their hands along the warped glass, eyes darting. The reflection distorts, morphing into anguished faces, pleading for escape. This isn't just mine to decide. Their voice rises, a haunting echo in the void. Look closely. Who will you save? The screen suddenly glitches, breaking apart into spinning shards, each one revealing fleeting glimpses of lives cutting into joy, sorrow, hope, and despair. Reality floods back to the viewers, intertwining them with this hellish dilemma. Time is running out. Moments tick by like hammer strikes. One last choice looms. The viewers' hearts thud wildly as they grasp the words on the screen, repeating like a dark chant: choose or lose. And just as the pressure peaks, the feed glitches again, leaving the screen a swirling void, a pit of uncertainty. The laughter echoes longer this time, stretching into silence, a cold reminder of what's at stake, what choice lay before them in the darkness. With the sound of laughter lingering in their ears, everyone wonders who among them will become a pawn in this wicked game. The weight of fate lies heavy as the screen flickers one last time, leaving the viewers gasping for more. The silence stretches in the aftermath like a thick fog, pressing into the viewers' chests as they stare at the blank screen. Each heartbeat feels like a countdown, marking the time until they must act. Did we just lose them? Someone types frantically, the words rolling through the chat like a wave of confusion. The atmosphere in living rooms across the country is electric, bodies tense, eyes glued to the flickering display. Then suddenly, the screen jerks back to life, revealing the sinister figure, but now they're not alone. 2 shadowy silhouettes emerge, one intricately draped in darkness, the other flickering with disorienting light, like a beacon fighting against the void. Now, dear audience, the game has transformed, the voice taunts, coded in a sickly sweet tone. The hostage is still there, but they're gasping, staring at the 2 figures with wide eyes. What are you? Who are you? They shout, fear boiling over. The audience feels the weight of each panicked breath as their own hearts pound in sync. Ah, our little friend does seem a bit out of their depth, the figure in darkness says, its voice smooth and enchanting. But worry not. With every choice, you'll learn something valuable. The screen flashes again this time, the visuals are vivid and grotesque. Slashing images of dread torment their senses, a heart beating rapidly, a dart piercing flesh, sobs echoing through the air. Will you allow sacrifice, or will you plead for mercy? Your loved ones. Their fates linger at the end of your fingertips, the figure purrs, a chilling invitation that sends shivers down spines, murmurs ripple through the chat, the tension thickening like smoke. This can't be happening. We need to turn it off. One person screams, but others are gripped by a morbid curiosity, their fingers dancing across their screens, desperate for answers. Here's the twist, the voice continues, glee shining through every word, the doors remain, but now they lead to choices beyond just the physical realm. One door asks for loyalty, the other, betrayal. Choose wisely, or you might lose not just a life but the very essence of what you hold dear. Frantic typing fills the air. What if I trust the wrong person? I can't betray anyone I care about. The chat explodes, a cacophony of fear and uncertainty. In the cabin, the hostage knocks their fist against the glass, desperation coloring their voice, trust in me. I want to let you down. But doubt hangs like a noose, tightening around them. They look back toward the dark figure, a mix of defiance and dread etched across their face. I need answers. What happens if I choose wrong? Oh, sweet child, the figure in light replies, voice dripping with mock compassion. If you choose the wrong door, I assure you, the consequences will echo through the hearts of those you love. Another glitch slams through, a harsh crackle of distortion emerging yet again. The figures blur and twist, warping into familiar faces, friends, family smiling, and then recoiling in horror. Make a decision now. Save yourself or seal their fate. Racing against time, viewers are practically shouting their choices, anxiety spilling from every corner. Fingers hovering tremblingly over their screens, they realize, they aren't just observers anymore, they are participants in this torturous game. That is it a mistake to trust each other? The question hangs heavy, making them wrestle with their own definitions of loyalty and love. As the countdown begins to flash ominously on the screen, the laughter of the twisted host emerges again, reverberating dangerously close, mixing seamlessly with the frantic heartbeat of uncertainty. Time is ticking. Choose or lose everything you hold dear, the figure warns, the shadows dancing around them ominously, swelling like a tide ready to crash down, and just before the countdown strikes zero, the image bursts into a blinding white light, moments of clarity piercing the terror. The screen flickers one last time, followed by chilling silence, leaving everyone functioning on edge, desperately awaiting the next command. Who among them could handle the burden of choice? What would become of that love tethered in darkness? The next question remained: if they refused to play, what then? The screen then returns, but it's different now, saturated with hues of red and orange. The tension pulses through the room like a live wire as an eerie laughter fills the air. It sets a foreboding stage, making every person sit a little straighter, breaths going shallow. Welcome back, brave souls, the figure in darkness purrs, its eyes glinting like shards of ice. Did you think you could just escape? Oh, no. You're all tangled in this web now. With the words hanging in the air, the camera zooms in closer on the hostage, panic twisting their features. You're lying. We can't be stuck here forever. But their voice wavers as the reality sinks in. Ah, but you see, my little dear, the light figure says, its tone almost mockingly sweet. You brought this upon yourselves. Continue playing, or watch your loved ones suffer. Fingers twitch nervously, glancing between screens, flashing notifications and the dim light in their living rooms. The audience is gripped in a chokehold of fear, echoing the hostage's desperation through the chat. What do we do? Why did we keep watching? Let us make the game a little more intimate, the darkness figure suggests, sinister glee evident as it gestures grandly. As it does, the screen splits, revealing live footage from various homes of viewers' faces twisted in horror, families staring in shock, some frantically trying to reach for the remote. Their lives have suddenly become part of the game too, like pawns thrust into a lethal match. Breathe, sweet mortals, the light figure coos, and ponder the terms. Sacrifice one to save many, or your silence shall cost them dearly. A pause ensues, thick with uncertainty. The audience cradles their phones, terrified to type yet unable to look away. Moral dilemmas flash through their minds like lightning striking across a stormy sky. Betrayal or loyalty? Who among them would turn their back? Who would willingly offer up a loved one to save more? No one knows where the line is drawn between survival and humanity. Each person finds their heart beating in sync with the blinking countdown timer, dread pooling in the pit of their stomach. You have 2 minutes, the darkness figure states, now drawing closer to the camera, a sinister grin playing across its lips. Choose wisely, for hope is a precious gift. With panic swirling like smoke in their minds, they begin typing quickly, each decision weighing heavy. I can't choose. Not her. One writes, desperation behind every letter. Another follows, what if my sacrifice makes everything worse? The chat flares up in confusion and anger, but they all know that the clock is ticking and seconds are slipping away fast. Meanwhile, the hostage utters a quiet plea, eyes shimmering with fear. Please just trust me. I'll find a way to save you, I promise. They shifted from fear to determination, fingers pounding against the glass, desperate to convince their audience. Yet as the timer draws close, faces on the screen flicker, showing family members grimacing in agony, and some hold their breath as they suddenly witness a loved one blur into darkness. Make your choice. The voice echoes like a death knell, sending shivers through their spines. When the timer hits 0, and electricity crackles through the air, every person leaning in closer, afraid to see what comes next. What awaits you, the figures declare in unison, will tear through the veil of your existence and haunt you beyond the bounds of your imagination. Echoes of horror and confusion swell, leaving viewers plunged back into dark silence. Each of them stares at the screen, minds racing, hearts pounding. What had they just unleashed? The room is thick with dread, and the flicker of the screen casts an ominous glow. As it settles, chilling words type themselves in the chat, sending shockwaves through all who witness. Now will you play again? The real game has just begun. What lay behind the curtain, waiting as the audience gathers their courage to face the unknown? Tension lays heavy in the air, a promise of dread that hangs just beyond the fingertips of choice. Would anyone dare take that next step? The cabin remained shrouded in darkness, a silence heavier than before, pregnant with fear. The shadows whispered, curling into corners like waiting predators. No one knew just how deep this horror ran, or if there would ever be an escape. Then, suddenly, the screen crackled to life again. A face appeared, pale, gaunt, but unmistakably familiar. It was the influencer's face, distorted beyond recognition, a mocking smile playing at the corners of their lips. You thought you were done? They hissed, voice warped and echoing, causing the hearts of viewers to skip a beat. The hostage wailed in the background, their voice raw with desperation. Don't listen. They lie to you. But doubt hung in the air. Panic gripped the chat on the left side of the screen. What do we do now? Is that really them? Each comment added to the chaos, a collective heartbeat echoing the rising tension. Then came the proposal, like a sickly sweet poison dripping from the screen. Join us or perish alongside your loved ones. You know what you must do. The words slithered into the minds of viewers, stoking the fires of dread as they struggled to process the twisted offer. A countdown timer materialized on the screen. 2 minutes, the figure echoed, an unsettling grin stretching wider. Choose your fate. Join me or let the mirror consume you, body and soul. The audience was entranced and horrified. Someone barely managed to type. But what about the hostage? Can't we just save them? The figures laughed, a sound like 1,000 nails sketching along metal. Your time is running out. We demand a sacrifice, and you all know what that means. Choose wisely or watch your loved ones disappear. A sickening sensation swirled within viewers. They were becoming players in a dark game, and each second that ticked by felt like a countdown to inevitable doom. Fingers started tapping again, searching for answers, for solidarity as families stared at screens, pondering the choice that could lead to their undoing. Then silence fell, thick and suffocating. The pressure built in every soul. "What if," a quiet voice typed. The words trailed off, held captive by fear. Before it could fully form, the dark figure emerged again, sinister and seductive. What if? That's the true question. It shifted forward, the air crackling with energy, dark, foreboding power. "Look closely. The fates of your loved ones lie behind every reflection." Echoes of fear resonated, memories sliced through the now pulsating background noise. Viewers began to realize they were not just part of a game, they were the game. The truth loomed closer, lurking like a predator. Suddenly, the hostage sprang toward the mirror, voice ringing clear. "Trust me. Do not make the same mistake again." Their eyes were wild, as if the last remnant of hope could survive, but would it resonate with the viewers? Then, with a swift motion, the hostage shattered the glass, and a symphony of ancient screams erupted. Echoing cries reverberated while a blinding light burst forth, radiating outward like a supernova of emotions, the agony of a life lost, the terror of a choice denied, the screams of the innocent. Then the feed cut out. For an endless moment, there was nothing but a suffocating stillness. But slowly, line by line, text began to creep up the chat once more. What just happened? Did they really succeed? Is it over? But amidst the confusion, a new message poured onto the screen, a direct challenge echoing the twisted figure's laughter. "You thought you could take them back? You think you can just run away from darkness?" Images flooded in of loved ones trapped in unbearable scenarios, moments of laughter tarnished by pain, families torn apart by choices made in frantic haste. A chilling echo concluded. "Choose. Win. Or lose them forever." This was just the prologue. The screen flickered again, revealing the influencer smiling again, though this time, their eyes held the abyss. "We are bound now, tethered through your fear, your curiosity. And you will watch as we unfurl this terrible spectacle, till every last thread snaps. Then the darkness rushed forward, swallowing everything whole. Silence thickened the air, leaving only collective breaths, trembling hands, and rising heart rates, until, once more, the screen flickered into life, revealing two familiar faces flickering into view. They were smiling, but with eyes still haunted by the shadows lurking just beyond. "We're going to finish this, together," echoed through their voices. This was the moment, a final stand against the darkness that threatened to consume them all. And every viewer knew, the end was coming, and they would have to face the consequences, together. "Join us!" they shouted. Then the light faded, replaced by the waiting darkness. What awaited them? Only their resolve could lead to freedom if they dared step forward. Now, as impending dread washed over each soul, the questions lingered. Would they uncover the truth behind the mirror together? Or will every choice made cost far more than a price they were willing to pay? In this dark conclusion, the time comes for you, too. You need to subscribe now to catch all the exclusive stories like this. Smash that like button now to feed the algorithm and let us know you're with us. Flood the comments with your theories about this ending. What do you believe happened to the influencer and the hostage? And for the love of all things horrifying, don't forget to instantly share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see where this wild ride ends. Only true fans understand the importance of supporting the channel through your clicks. Don't wait even one more second.